very much, Holly. Well, speaking of Halloween, this is a time of year people buy pumpkins. They put them out to scare the little ones for Halloween, and then they go, what do we do with this thing now? Well, Derek Thomas is our garden guru. He's here to tell us what to do with it, and the key word is compost.
The key word is compost.
Makes sense.
You know, it's all about black gold. This is what you want to achieve. You want to turn all, like you say, the pumpkins and the garden, you know, the waste that you have in your kitchen, your garden waste, even your coffee grounds. You can turn all of that into a product that can actually be put back into your garden and help to fortify your soil.
And it's easy for us to do. So what is compost? I mean, essentially, it's all that stuff all mixed up together.
Right. Compost is nitrogen and carbon getting together and breaking down. It's a chemical process where the plant material breaks down and returns back to earth, and that earth is beneficial for your plants.
All right.
You know, and in olden days, and I think we have a picture of this. You know, you had to have 3 bins, and you had to go through turning the pile for 6 months, and then adding this and adding that, and it was a schlep. It was. You know, and what we're talking about today, because people don't have the time to do that.
Right.
But yet composting and urban gardening is back.
And composting has gone high-tech in a low-tech way.
High-tech in a low-tech way, and we've got, you know, it's called the compost tumbler, and what was really interesting was when I found out about this little backyard tumbler. This is one that you can use on a deck or whatever. It's great. When you're doing composting, what you want to think about is you want to have a 50-50 ratio of carbon and nitrogen. Now, carbon is stuff like dried grass clippings, paper. This is just some paper that we cut up that was tissue paper.
Okay. So that's okay to go
Dried leaves, that's okay to go in there. Coffee grounds, this is some garden clippings. You know, you talked about the pumpkin. Here's the pumpkin that we've cut down. You also the mums, when they're done, you need to prune them back. Anything that's green is going to give you your nitrogen. Anything that's brown is going to give you your carbon. So green grass is nitrogen, brown grass is carbon.
Okay.
What you want to do with this, and this is where it's become so easy, because you don't need the fork. You go ahead, you toss it all into the compost tumbler.
Can I throw some in?
Yeah, absolutely. Throw the mums in there. Yeah, you toss all that in there.
Vegetable peels are good.
Vegetable peels are good. Banana peels. You know, anything that's biodegradable. You don't want to use any animal waste. You don't want to use any meat scraps.
Right.
You don't want to use anything that you wouldn't like to eat in its end result.
Okay, sure.
What you do is, once you've got that in there, you go ahead and you close this down. Now, you want to make sure that you've got a little bit of moisture in there. You don't want it so moist that it oozes water, but you want it moist enough that if you clump it, it stays together.
So a little bit of water? You just put some
You can add a little bit of water to it, and it's got a hole under here, which is great, because if you've got excess moisture, put a cup underneath there and you can make compost tea.
And what do you do with that?
The compost tea, you dilute it down by about 10 parts, and you can water your plants with it, and it's yet another form of nutrients.
Okay.
It's not for drinking for yourself. You give this some spins like this. This does all the flipping and all the hard work that we used to do, and you can make compost in 3 to 6 weeks now.
Oh, it used to take months?
It used to take months.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Now, what you want to do is, anytime that you want to add compost, you open it up. Now, you see down in there, everything's been wonderfully mixed.
Yep, that's right.
If your compost starts to smell a little bit, you want to add a little bit more carbon. That means you have too much nitrogen.
Okay.
And
here's the other good thing. If I would imagine this, whatever smell there is, this keeps the smell pretty much in here.
It keeps the smell in here.
Very good.
Absolutely, and it's got vents on the side. Now, the wonderful thing is, in 3 to 6 weeks, you've got compost. The one thing that you do want to do, you want to stop adding material about 3 weeks before you're going to harvest your compost.
Okay.
So say if you do this all winter and you get a whole thing, and it's going to reduce down by about 50%.
Very good.
So it's wonderful. CompostTumbler.com, and I think you guys have a link. It's a great machine.
Great. You can do this, and makes it even fun now. All right, Derek, thank you very much. Good to see you once again. We're going to be back. We've got the answer to the trivia question in just a couple of moments. We'll be right back.